Hi everyone and welcome back to Evocative Scents. In this video, I will be giving my opinion and views about this fragrance as well as a long-term review of this product and is it really worth the money it is asking for. If you aren't familiar with this fragrance, this perfume is supposed to be a clone or similar interpretation of Creed Aventus Absolute from the house of Armaf, a Middle Eastern brand which sought into popularity due to the Club de Nuit Intense Man EDT. And after the initial success, they have spawned many flankers of this lineup, with this being the latest one. Now the Creed Aventus Absolute, which this perfume is supposed to be smelling like, costs around 35,000 Indian rupees, which is way too expensive than this fragrance. But this one isn't cheap either, while it has got its price cut down from the initial launch pricing. Now let's see if it is worth right now. Without any further delay, let's get into the packaging because there is a lot to cover in this packaging. Now this is the absolute outer box of this perfume. There is a pull tab in the front, which I have opened it of course. Then there is Precieux 1 written on the front as well as Armaf. And this is Extrait de Parfum concentration, which is higher than EDP. And as you open it, there is again a collector's pride Club de Nuit written on the front. And when you open this as well, you will get a box inside the box. Of course, wrapped with some sort of rubber cover. If you love boxes, it is absolutely heaven for you. Personally, I would have been more happier with the higher quantity juice inside the bottle. Now this rubber cover is lashed onto the box with Armaf and Club de Nuit written on it. You have to undo the rubber cover to get inside the final box. Now let's do it. While Armaf has done a great job in terms of packaging, I still feel that it was very unnecessary. Now let's see the final box. Now the final box is little hefty. It is not made up of cardboard. It is covered with hard plastic. Again, Precieux 1 and Club de Nuit is written in silver letters. And at the back of the box, it is a glossy finish with Armaf and Sterling perfumes written on it. I feel that this box alone could have been sufficient and all those outer coverings are unnecessary. And once you open up the box, you won't get the bottle right away. Instead, you will get what the perfume smells like in silver letterings. And at the left side, it is written Scent for the Royals. And once you remove the velvet padding, you will get a cleaning cloth along with the bottle finally. Now the cleaning microfiber cloth has again Armaf and Club de Nuit written on it. I feel that most of the money has gone into the packaging rather than the juice. Now let's take a closer look at the bottle. Now the bottle is very slim and it's finished in shiny black finish. And there is the sticker at the bottom as usual. Now since the bottle is very slim, you have to keep it carefully if you are keeping it in the shelf or somewhere else in standing position. Since the bottle is not very wide, it is less stable to other bottles which are mostly wider in nature. There is the signature Armaf locket dangling on the cap and there is some sort of pattern in silver color which runs on all sides of the bottle. And yes, it just comes in 55 ml. Now let's take a quick look at the atomizer before moving on to the smell. Now the atomizer is not pressurized in nature, but it has a decent wide coverage and nothing to complain about. As you can see in this footage, the bottle is quite a fingerprint magnet. Now coming to the most important topic, the smell of this fragrance. If you are looking to buy this perfume, one question must be arising in your mind. Is it completely different from previous Club de Nuit flankers? Or is it just the same juice with different packaging? I would say it is somewhere in between both of them. While it does contain many similar notes to the previous flanker, it is still quite different from them. First of all, I have to be very clear about its opening. It is very smooth compared to the previous releases. It has got a very fruity forward opening with lots of pineapple. Also, I do get some sort of green opening at the top. Along with that, in the air there is some sort of sweet caramel like smell. While there is a lot going in the notes breakdown, I am breaking these fragrance notes in terms of what I get to smell from this fragrance. It is lot less spicier than Creed Aventus Absolute and it is also not as sweet as Creed Aventus Absolute as well. I would say it is somewhere in between Aventus and Aventus Absolute. Much more mature and complex than the original Creed Aventus, but not as sweet as Creed Aventus Absolute. It is sort of a fresh fragrance with gourmand touches to it. It is lot less woodier than the original formulation as well. There is a hint of spices there as well in the form of black pepper and anise. As the fragrance starts to dry down, the fruitiness starts to tone down compared to the opening. There is subtle hints of woodiness, a little bit of floral elements, a lot more vanilla in the dry down. The floral elements mostly stay in the background, never really becoming prominent. It is certainly not a linear fragrance, it goes through many transitions. It is lot less fresher than the previous releases. I would still consider it as a fresh fragrance, but not absolutely for the high heat and summer. I think that this is more appropriate for fall, winter and spring. However, it also carries over the versatility of the previous flankers. It is a great option for office. The sweetness of the caramel makes it an excellent option for date fragrance. It is also a fine choice for a signature scent. It is definitely in the mass-pleasing nature and not definitely in the polarizing category. Since this is not very woody or leathery in nature, I would consider it a completely unisex fragrance. So this cologne shines in terms of versatility, but we also have to look at the performance aspect of this cologne because it provides just 55 ml for 3,500 rupees. And if we extrapolate it to 100 ml, it will cost nearly 7,000 rupees or nearly $100. And at that price, it is trespassing into the domains of the designer fragrances. Now in terms of projection, it has a soft projection overall in between 1 to 2 hours. And in terms of longevity, it is easily 7 to 8 hours on clothes. Since the projection is on the softer side and the longevity excellent, I can't consider it a beast mode fragrance by any stretch of imagination, but it is very good. I would never suggest you to buy any fragrance just at the release time. Always let the price, hype and dust settle down, and most of the times it will be beneficial for you. Now not everything is perfect with this fragrance. As earlier I had mentioned, it just comes in 55 ml and I think the sweet spot for this fragrance would have been around 3000 rupees mark for 55 milliliters, or they should have provided with 80 ml for around 4000 Indian rupees or $60 mark. Granted, it is a very high quality fragrance, but they could have certainly cut down expenses on the packaging. And at this price point, there are some other excellent fragrances as well. And if you are new to the fragrance game, I would highly suggest you to try Bentley for Men Intense. Though it may be a little polarizing in nature, it is still an excellent fragrance and an unique one too. While this is an excellent fragrance from Armaf, there are some other gems from Armaf too, which I will be reviewing soon. And one of them is an alternative for Bulgari Tiger, and not many fragrance reviewers have talked about that fragrance and it is mostly slept on. So if you took anything value of this video, hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. And while you are there, hit the notification bell also. And if you have tried this fragrance, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. I always love the interaction going around, and until next time, stay safe and as always, stay honest.